Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Full Blast Garage. I'm John Strong and this is the old Transient Am, and I'm kind of hoping to at least hear this thing just a turnover. A turnover and a fire, that'd be awesome, but man, I've never even seen the motor spin on this car. Rebuilt, brand new, lost all the receipts. Now I got one, but it was from 15 years ago or something, but says it was new. They rebuilt it, set it aside. Before they sold the car, they dropped it in, and dropped it in is literal. Like, it's in there, but there's no nuts on the motor mount bolts or anything. So I got hopefully everything to cobble together an accessory drive on this 403. If you got to buy parts for those, they're a little pricey. So I found a few, and then what we don't have, we're going to make up with washers and long bolts. But yeah, if you've seen this thing in the background of a few of my videos, it's been sitting sideways. Shout out old Paul Wall, but went ahead and put a little air in the tires so everybody didn't have to hold their head sideways while they're watching this video. But let's go ahead, get this thing up in the air, and I'll at least start looking under what I got to do first. Y'all know I got a lift now, right? No more jack stands, no more wearing my elbows out. But it'll get there eventually. All right, so first things first, I'm gonna snake the headers up in this thing. I mean, even if it don't run, it needs it anyways. I'm gonna need to self-tap in a ground cable at some point. But to get the headers in on this car, I believe we gotta remove this little oil filter bracket, the little adapter that goes onto the engine. We'll take that thing off, snake the header up there, get the gasket and the bolt started, and then we'll move on to the driver's side. I don't believe there's anything I need to take off on the driver's side because starter's already gone. So I think on these cars, you got to remove the starter. Yep, and it goes right in here in this area on this car. So starter's already out, and as you can see right here, we got no nut holding the motor mount bolt on. So they made it all the way from Oklahoma riding. That's a good sign. But yeah, we're gonna get the headers snaked up in here, get that oil filter adapter and put on new gasket. We'll go ahead and bolt the starter in, and I'm gonna start fishing around looking for wires. I believe this was a 4.9 car, so it was a 301. Starter would have been on the other side. So I'm just gonna kind of browse around and look and see if I see anything that might be considered a starter wire. So if I don't find anything, I think I can just kind of go back to the harness that's on the firewall and start looking around, but I think we can get there. Let's go ahead and start wrestling that header. All right, 3 bolts here, 9/16 socket. Hopefully there's no surprises. Just gonna be fresh gasket material right behind it. Oh, a little tight right here. Might need to get a deep socket for that side. 2. 3's up top. All right. Man, it was a new gasket. People might have been telling the truth. Facebook Marketplace, you never know. But yeah, you guys can see, look at this gasket. Brand new. Not even any red RTV. I'm shocked. All right, well, there's step 1. About 1,000 more to go before this thing will bust off. Well, these headers came free with the purchase of a car. So I had that. I mean, as soon as he told me that, deal. No takebacks. It's mine. But yeah, you guys see how easy that goes up in there without the well filter adapter in the way. I'm just hoping for the first time ever that they'll just kind of hold themselves up there. Because normally you got to beat these things into submission and they'll hold themselves. But now I'm worried about the dang things falling out when I drop the lift. So much room. Oh, GM, they must have been really expecting folks to put headers on these cars. Man, I've been collecting parts for this thing over the past couple months, and not gonna lie, there's a little bit of me that even forgot some of the stuff I bought. So it's up in there. Man, we got all kinds of room for activities. Will it hold itself? Probably not. How in the world? I'm gonna have to get some welding wire and hang this thing. I'll be back. Well, I think I can kind of snake this back bolt in. That might be enough, just kind of hold it steady. You guys got to remember the back bolt on this thing is slotted. So you can slide your gasket in kind of at any time you want to. But I'm just gonna loosely hang it on that guy. Started. Good sign. Bolt hole ain't stripped out. I ain't gonna smoke it down because I do remember I gotta slide that gasket in there before we torque it down. I don't know. Some guys run without manifold gaskets. I've never understood it. I've never had these things seal up at all with anything but a perfect surface. So I'm a big proponent of using the gaskets. Wow. I don't think you can start the bolt on this one, on this side from down here. Wow. I mean, I can kind of see the hole. Man, this header is going to be kind of going straight into the transmission crossmember here. I think we're just going to let this guy hang out. We're going to have to do that one from the top because there ain't no access from below. But before I do any more too, I'm going to work on my transmission connections here. Because once those headers are bolted in, they're kind of right in the way. So I'm gonna get that done and see what I got to do to get the kick down and the shift linkage put in place. All right, we got the shift linkage placed up there. We'll go ahead and try and smoke it home. The threads on this thing do not look great. Let me see. I can do this without an extension, maybe. Now, man, we can't do this like a barbarian. The dang ratchet. I know I had a 3/8 out here somewhere. Kind of one of those snowball jobs because got to work on the transmission. Then transmission don't go to nothing, so got to hook up the rear end. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna try. Well, the threads do feel good that way. Let's get this thing It's not kind of a straight shot here. Okay, it's got a good bite now. I don't think it's gonna break anything. I was a little worried there. I think you break this, you're probably taking the transmission apart, put it back together. And that is not something I'm looking forward to doing. Especially on a car that's got a brand new transmission. We're gonna see. The gentleman that I bought this from, him and his son, did not seem like people trying to scheme anybody or hack, get something over on somebody. No reason for me not to believe anything they said, so. She's shifting. She's rowing through all the gears. Now, can I wedge the linkage in with it being kind of stuck in park in the car? Oh yeah. I don't even know if I'm gonna have to adjust it. Think she's right. If y'all can see that. Stabbed on in there. And then this, I believe this kick down linkage, and it does have it here, so why not go ahead and bolt it up, and I'll bolt this speedo cable so it's not hanging in the video frame the entire time. Speedo cable installed back here in the tail of the transmission, and then it's got this little holder thing that goes on. Oh, and I got it torqued kind of in the wrong position from trying to put this speedo cable on. Let's spin her around. There's a hold down here. You got to have that hold down tight before you fully torque. All right, come on now. Not quite. And there we go. And of course, the bolt that holds this thing on is metric. So everything else I've touched on the car up to this point standard. I don't know. That's just like spinning in there. That's probably not the greatest sign. Well, if she leaks from back here and it looks like somebody's been back here trying to stop them with all the goo that's kind of around this thing. If it leaks, I'll have to tap that, put a new bolt in. All right, I think we're gonna call that tight enough, and me spinning that thing probably broke the seal on whatever all this goo is. So there's a good chance I'm gonna have to come back and put some more goo on that thing. All right, well, we might as well, I guess, just put the drive shaft in while we're back here. So let's do that, so we're not gonna get transmission fluid at least actively spewing. Oh, that doesn't look good. Not a fan of that bolt just spinning freely too. Well, on to the next piece. All right, so let's go ahead, get our U-joint untaped here. Kind of them. Nobody wants to be digging around on the ground trying to find all the little needle bearings. So let's just hope. I got a feeling the transmissions are different from the 301 to the 403. Spline count hopefully is the same. If not, we're gonna be going to the drive shaft shop, putting a new yoke on this thing. Try and see if I can get this thing lined up, because it probably ain't gonna want to turn. Oh, you gotta go up and over the parking brake on this car. Well, that's kind of nifty. It'll help me hold it. That's kind of it. Same splines. We're in. How far off is my U-joint gonna be? Man, I'm close. I don't know. I got enough slack to get this thing in, though. I'm probably, gonna have to go in the car, put it in neutral, so I can bump this transmission. I don't think I can shift it anymore. I think there's a lock. Let's see. Yeah. There's a lock. Inside the car. So drop it down, climb in, put her in neutral. And we'll get this drive shaft bolted up. So guys, I was totally wrong earlier on this thing. I'm guessing this is your shifter from your floorboard. And this goes up to that column. Like the column spins when you shift it. So I guess there's 2 linkages there. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but I was able to shimmy it a little bit. Now the drive shaft can move around. I can get this thing bolted up. But yeah, learning something new. All right, let's start getting our U-joint straps going on here. Since I'm not gonna be able to spin the rear end around because I don't have it up in the air. Let's see how tough this is with the old ratchet. Might have to get out the actual like ratcheting, open in, close in. I mean, there didn't look like there was a zillion, mils of slop in the old U-joint. Let's go ahead and run it. I'm gonna try a swivel on this socket and maybe give me enough room. I'm just gonna snug one up at a time. I don't want to run it all the way down on one side and get the strap lopsided. Come on now. All right, so that one's tight. Say that one's pretty tight. Just snug it up. Snug your other side up. Woo! This thing's got all the torque. Just kind of never like using these swivels unless I absolutely have to. It's such a pain. All right, I don't think that's going nowhere. Drive shaft installed. It feels like we got transmission in the rear end at least. So let's go back up front here, get this shifter linkage, the other one bolted on. All right, so this console linkage just uses bolts from the transmission pan to hold itself on. And it's in a little bit of a precarious position because we already put this header in, but it's the joys of driving hot rods with headers. Go ahead and get used to it. Ooh. So I think it's tight. Don't really need to smoke these transmission pan nuts home or the bolts, but there. Oh, a little bit hard to see, but there you go. And then there's one nut that's a retaining nut here. I think this thing kind of looks, it's not 9/16, 5/8. Not quite. So this thing's definitely something metric. It's my 9/16 not going on it. So let me go find the metric socket and I'll get this guy right here tightened up. All right, ended up being 15 millimeter. Just make it make sense for me. I don't know. What in the world was General Motors doing with their fasteners? Just even on the same item, jumping around between metric and standard. She's tight, and I think we got a shifting transmission now that the actual console will shift. That'll be nice. So I guess if you get in a bind, you can just row through the gears from the column. Just act like you got a column shift. I don't know. All right, well, we can get back on hanging a header up there on the driver's side and just kind of leave this guy just hangling, hangling and dangling. So we'll leave that. I think I was making up a word there, hangling. So it's a combo of hanging and dangling. But we'll get this driver's side one hung just with a bolt. Man, I might have to go up top. I am, now that I remember. I have to go up top, hang one, and then we can put oil filter back on and starter in, at least get it bolted up. Well, man, well, never mind on having to go up on top. I saw that back header was slotted, the rearest bolt hole. So I just went ahead and threaded a bolt the very back of the head where the exhaust bolts and just slid it backwards and caught it. So it's hanging, I mean, literally by a thread right now, but let's go ahead, grab the starter. I didn't see any wires for it. I'm gonna have to get my wiring diagram out, try and trace out where someone cut the activator wire for the starter, and the power wire I'm probably just gonna run new. So I need to at least probably find, normally on GM, it's a purple wire. So I'm gonna have to find something purple and bolt it up to this thing. So let's go grab the starter. All right, check both the thread holes on the starter here and we're good. Looks like everything engages the way it's supposed to. Oh, I don't know why. I feel like as I get older, I feel like starters have gotten bigger. It's just like my shoulders dying, telling me not to lift stuff like this. If I had to guess, that's probably what it is. All right, come on now. It's in the slot. Oh, man. Well, can I get one started? Maybe not. Oh. Love headers. Just love them. We wrestle everything around the entire transmission because I want 10 horsepower. Come on. I can feel it wanting to thread on there. All right. I don't think y'all need to watch me wrestle this anymore. Just take my word for it. She's in. And it ain't cross-threaded or anything like that. I didn't just hit it with the impact as soon as the bolt touched a thread. So I didn't do that. I might have, but I didn't. But I might have. I got the oil filter wrestled up in there. This thing is not going to be super fun to tighten up. I can already tell. There are at least a little bit of open space, at least on the side one for the bolt between the header and this other guy. Thinking you can snake your wrench in that way. So I think I'll go ahead and get this one tightened all the way down. And then your front one, you're gonna have to use an open end box in. There ain't no way to get to it. So I'll go ahead and get these tightened down and then we'll figure out what the next step is here.